Hey guys, welcome to Braddels Gaming and to another video of my Far Cry 5 custom map series. Today we're having a look at my new map called BONEY. This is a team deathmatch map on the Far Cry 5 arcade on the Xbox One, and one thing you may immediately know or immediately notice is that this map is a Mad Max style map. As you can see, I've got a lot of very post-apocalyptic themes with the spikes, the ruins, the oil rigs, the orange sky, and just the overall environment that you can see here is very Mad Max post-apocalyptic style. So I decided to go for a Mad Max style map because it wasn't something that had been done previously. A lot of Mad Max maps in the Far Cry 5 arcade are normally solo co-op, maybe journey or assault maps, and so there wasn't anything like this done. I had a couple other ideas, such as I should say that this is the behind the scenes footage, so you can see some invisible barriers here and some spawn points and whatnot. But anyway, I did have two other ideas for Mad Max maps. One of them was a Fort versus Fort style, and another one was a Mad Max Road Rampage style type of map where it's vehicle combat. However, I opted for those options, considering a Fort versus Fort style wouldn't really be too good in a Mad Max style, since there wouldn't be any cover for you guys to converge on the enemy team's fortress. It would just be a snipe fest of everyone staying in their spawns and trying to pick each other off on the opposing sides of the map, which is something that I don't think is too good for gameplay unless you're actually making a map that is catered towards sniping, like my Battle for Belize map. You guys may have heard of that map that I didn't intend for it to be a snipe fest, but it was for most parts of the game. There were still parts in that Battle for Belize map where there were, close to medium range engagements, but it was more popular with the sniping. And a bit the same with my Agent Horace map. Not so much, but still there. So yeah, I didn't want to choose that option for the Mad Max multiplayer map. And similarly, I didn't want to choose a Road Rampage multiplayer map because vehicle combat just doesn't really work in this game, especially in multiplayer where there is no vehicle respawning. It works great in a solo type environment, but otherwise multiplayer, it can be pretty glitchy and can be pretty frustrating, especially if you yourself don't have a vehicle. So yeah, that's the two other nominations that I sort of considered but didn't decide to carry through with. Instead, I opted for this much smaller scale, way more chaotic team deathmatch of a Mad Max map. And I'm going to go into the playing perspective now so you guys can see the map in all its full glory. I definitely think playing perspective is the way to do these videos because it allows you guys to see how the map is in a playing perspective, because obviously you guys, well, that's what you're going to be playing this map as, and it also allows you to pick up a lot more detail as well. In the map editor view, you don't really get as much an appreciation as all the detail of the map. You probably get a good overview of the map and see how much effort and time is put into the map, but again, you don't see all the small little details. So coming out of the spawn here, and there are 4 spawn points on this map, each in one of these planes that I put on the cliffs surrounding the maps. You can see the other one just over there, just through this little wood scaffolding here. And yeah, there's 4 spawn points. There's 2 team spawns, so I think red spawn is over there and blue spawn is over here. And then you have 2 shared spawn points on either side. And what this does is it relieves the pressure of the spawning. Obviously, if you just have 2 spawns, blue spawn and red spawn, or blue spawn and red spawn, I can't remember which is which. If you only have those 2 spawns, then spawn killing is going to become a major issue. And the first time I tested this map out, I only had the 2 spawn points, and it was a major issue. So I decided to add those 2 spawn points, 1 and 2, to the sides there, as this really relieved the pressure and meant that people weren't staying around one spawn point ready to spawn kill people. They actually traversed the map to try and find out where the enemy that they just killed was going to spawn next. And this was really good for the game flow because it meant everyone was traversing around the map trying to find each other. There wasn't any sort of major area where people were camping or just sort of staying in the one area, meaning that all the action was taken there. It meant that the whole map was being utilized, and yeah, it just meant that the gameplay was a lot quicker, a lot faster, and a lot more fun for everyone involved. Now, one thing you may have noticed, in fact, I'll quickly go back to the editor so I can respawn here and show you the classes. Now, the classes of this game, as you may notice, are very limited. All the classes are very close ranged. I mean, you've got the bow, but the bow on this map, considering it's so chaotic, unless you stay in the spawn point, is probably not going to be too useful. But, if you're good with the bow, you can definitely dominate with this. The first time I tested this map, I had a player called King, and he was He was actually like absolutely destroying with the bow and arrow. So if you're good with the bow and arrow, this might be the class for you. I named it Primal Instinct because I used a lot of Far Cry Primal assets on this map with the sort of bone huts that you'll see as I'm about to spawn in. You've got Scorpo Enforcer, which is the Scorpion, the D2, the Pipe. You've got the Meat Slayer. This is like your hunter sort of class, I guess, with the SBS shotgun, which was also known as the elephant gun in Far Cry 4. And then you've got the 44 Magnum, the spiked bat, and a throwing knife. And then you've got the Settler, which all he has is a spiked bat, and you guys can't see, but he also has a shovel, and of course, everyone has their fist. And, the Settler class isn't totally useless. Because the map is so confined, it means that the Settler can still do pretty well because, as I said, it's close range. So, he's going to have a good time, doing a lot of melee takedowns. So it's not completely useless. But yeah, as you guys can see, I've tried to cater each class to their name. So Scorpion Enforcer, obviously, like that's the soldier, I guess you could say, that is guarding this sort of settlement. And then you've got the Meat Slayer, which is your hunter, the person who's going out to hunt food for the settlement. You got your Settler, which is just this guy with a bat. And you've got the other one, which is Primal Instinct. Obviously, that was just a Easter egg to the primal assets that I use, as you guys can see right here, with the bones and the animal skins to make, little housing shelters. And yeah, so basically the whole premise of this map is that this is a cannibalistic Mad Max settlement. This is the way of life that the people in the settlement chose. They're almost like savages. They feed on animals and humans and that sort of thing. Just that type of enemy in Far Cry Primal. I can't quite remember what their name was, but yeah, them. Because I never actually play Far Cry Primal. I might borrow it from a friend, see how it is, but yeah, we'll see how that goes in the future. Anyway guys, now I'm going to take you very quickly around the map. I mean, you've probably already seen this 1,000 times while we're circling around it in the beginning, but here is the first major spawn point. Yeah, you got a little entrance there, just trying to make just trying to make the outside of the map feel like it's a part of a larger world. I probably could have done more and added some more scraps to make it a little bit more detailed, as I, normally like to pride myself in making my maps feel like they're part of a larger world. The sky took me forever to get the right color of a Mad Max style, not too bright but not too dark, just the right tone and, the right clouds and the right time of day. This was originally going to be a solo map, so I was really trying to make sure I created a refined experience for the player. But even in multiplayer, I think it's important to create the refined experience because, you want to make a map that is good in terms of gameplay design, but also aesthetics. And I do ask you to forgive me for the dog barking in the background. Some things we just can't control, that is. Anyway, you have this little side area, and what this basically is, well, you've got the captain's sort of hut here, and you've got a little playground for the children in the settlement. You know, I really thought of everything, at least tried to. And I only really had a confined space to work with, because when I was doing the terrain of this map, I probably went a little bit too far with the terrain in that I couldn't extend the map out, because trying to change the terrain back to normal was so difficult to do. I just gave up and just decided to use the space that I had to work with. We come to the middle area, which is where you will see the bulk of the cannibalistic theme. We will use human bones lying around. You know, it's very barren through the middle, but that's because I want to make the middle kind of like an open area where everyone can see each other. It also acts as a great choke point, especially in these little passageways here. So you definitely want to watch that out for yourself if you're playing on this map. One thing I suggest is just to climb this rock. I'm surprised not many people have done it, but climbing this rock gives you a great overview of the whole map. And yeah, because there is no long range weapons on this map, it means that even the people who spawn on these sides of the plains, they're not going to actually be able to kill you because the shotgun doesn't have that long of a range. But yeah, this is a great rock to see where everyone is, so I definitely recommend you use it. Anyway, coming down back over to this side, we have the second part of the settlement, or the third part of the settlement. Since this is a 3-lane structured map, you've got, you know, just your little market huts, burning car. You've got to have burning cars in an apocalyptic map. That is a must. You got all this scrap lying around, you know, very Mad Max like, and here you come to the main sort of ritual type, you know, meeting place for this settlement. You got Braddels Gaming YouTube, yeah boy. But yeah, you got this fire here, you know, more human bones, a lot of scraps, and you come up here and you kind of got like a cult like I guess Simon or leader who is gonna tell these people what to do. He's got his speaker, he's got his musicians here. You know, I sort of tied in a bit of the Eden's Gate cult inspiration into this map as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this preview and the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and gameplay will follow this preview, so stick around for that. But anyway, this is Braddels Gaming signing out. Remember to have yourself a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.
Team Deathmatch. First kill. enemy team took the lead. You're in the lead. You're about to lose. You're close to defeat.